Okay, everyone. So I know that I don't do a lot of guest features, but back at it again because it is really fun. And I like to talk about Tolkien stuff, as you guys already know. And today, I feel like I have a very special guest again. If you guys know, I have some siblings, and today I get to talk to my brother Levi. There you go. Yes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Hello.
Yeah, there you go. The good classic Ace Ventura. That's what I think you were joking,
Yeah,
right?
there was no other painting to.
I know. I was trying to like do the
They're like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, we get to have you on the show today.
good to
Um
be on.
yeah, talk about some Tolkien stuff, some future Tolkien stuff, I guess. I guess for like the audience, both of us were pretty much huge fanatics of Lord of the Rings films and a bunch of other films, obviously. Mentioning Ace Ventura, we go from comedy to
Yep.
fantasy. We love our movies. Our family loves our movies. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about The Hunt for Gollum, the future movie. I think it's supposed to be set 2026 or something like that, like a couple
Oh,
years or
it's
25.
it's in 2 years. Yeah, okay.
I don't
I
know.
thought
I
it was supposed to be recent, but
I thought it was
yeah,
recent.
that's
Yeah, I don't know. I quickly looked it up like right before and it said 2026. I don't know. I thought it was going to be next year, but I don't know.
yeah, me too.
But yeah, apparently Andy Serkis and Peter Jackson are going to be involved.
Yep.
So that's kind of
And
a yeah. So that's kind of a cool little thing. So that's
that's the first question that I actually have for you is
yeah.
the Viggo Mortensen kind of debate. Like, do we want to bring him back?
Yeah. Well,
If you're
that
talking
that
about the
is
cast and who's involved, so I was like,
yeah. Because I think what I remember hearing is the whole thing with Ian McKellen is that he's down to play Gandalf again because he's part of the story, but I'm like, okay, well, he's also like 85 years old
yeah,
or something like that. He's super old, and with Viggo Mortensen, he's kind of getting up in his years too. I forget how old he is, 60s, 70s maybe,
he's got to be
maybe.
70. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm
He
like,
was making movies in the 90s, so yeah, or
yeah.
in movies in the 90s.
Yeah. And so like the whole thing I think was more for like publicity thing where Ian McKellen's like, "Oh yeah, I'll be back." And then Viggo Mortensen's like, "Oh, well if Ian McKellen's going to go back, maybe I can go
Yeah.
back too." But it's like the hunt for Gollum is like it's not like super action packed, I guess, like reading through it, but there are some action sequences, so it's like I don't know how they would do with that, or I mean, they would also probably have some like stunt doubles, obviously, but like just
Yeah.
traveling, a little
Yeah. I
iffy.
mean, yeah, keep going. Sorry.
Oh no, I'm just saying like it's a little iffy for like older actors. Like the whole thing with Christopher Lee during The Hobbit, he literally could not fly to New Zealand to film. Like he was like that bad in his health because he was like 80 something years old. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. What do you
It
think
kind
about
of
that?
it brings me back to a great Harrison Ford interview where somebody's like, Harrison, you're getting really old. Like, how are
Hmm.
you doing all these stunts? And he
Yeah.
just like, there are stunt men,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Right. I know.
So,
Duh.
but yeah, I mean, Viggo will deliver, Ian McKellen will deliver, but we saw Legolas in The
Mm.
Hobbit, uh, just kind
Yeah.
of all CGI.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. It was
yes,
kind
we
of
love
off.
Legolas, but do we want
Yeah.
to see him like that?
No. Yeah. Yeah. No,
So,
I agree. Yeah. It was all CGI,
yeah,
way too much makeup, and like it was like it's cool to see a friendly face, like actor wise, like okay, like that's Legolas, but like the way that they portrayed him was kind of iffy. So.
he should have been in Mirkwood for like 5 minutes. And he could have had just a cameo or like,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, because Mirkwood plays a big role in The Hobbit. So I'm like, okay, I get it. The whole thing with Thranduil and things like that. It's like, okay.
yeah.
But yeah, and then I guess like a follow-up question is like, I wonder if Andy Serkis is still down to do all of Gollum's rapid movement and
Yeah,
climbing because like
yeah.
he's not like as old as the other two, but like he's also kind of getting up there too. So it's
I think he would.
yeah,
I just think it'd be really funny, like him getting behind because he's like probably directing it too. Like
yeah,
he goes from behind the camera to like skulking down, like
yeah.
action.
Action. Okay, hold on, guys. Wait. This time to do a scene.
All right,
Yeah.
cut.
Okay, we're good. All right. And then runs back to the camera, like, hold
Yeah,
on. In his like green screen, the little dots on
the
his
balls. Yeah,
suit. Yeah.
yeah,
That'd be so funny.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you know the whole premise of the hunt for Gollum at all?
So right before I got done with reading technically not the whole trilogy since just all the way until the appendices. I did not read the
Oh,
appendices yet
okay.
because
Yeah.
I went to Chicago for whatever it was 8 days and I kind of forgot
Mm,
about it. Been
yeah.
busy, but
Mm,
yeah.
okay. So, but
But
like,
no, I have not read.
okay. Part of it. Yeah. So it's like, yeah. So obviously, I think like the way that they're able to make it is, first of all, because Peter Jackson and his involvement with Lord of the Rings, him being like producer, co-producer, like, okay, so maybe they have some leniency there. There's the appendices that mention that. And then there's also there's a book called The Unfinished Tales that has like a whole chapter dedicated to, Hunt for Gollum. And so basically it's like kind of set between I'm gonna say between Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, where Frodo has the ring, I believe. This is after Bilbo returns, from his journey in the Hobbit. So Bilbo has the ring already, and he's in the Shire, and Gollum is going out after Bilbo, but he doesn't know where the Shire is because it's been like 500 years or something
400,
like
yeah,
that
400 years,
since
yeah.
yeah, it was a long time. So of course like his mental state doesn't remember the way back to the Shire because originally Gollum was a hobbit and whatnot. And so the whole premise of the hunt for Gollum is that Gollum knows the knowledge of the ring. He's been a ring bearer, and then the name of Baggins obviously is like that's a huge clue, especially for Sauron. So basically Sauron knows about Gollum, and so he tries to send out like these like small forces of like the orcs and stuff, but he doesn't want to start a war yet because Sauron wasn't like ready to start a war yet. So then instead he sends out the ring wraiths to go and try and find the ring. Or well, I mean, both try to find the ring and try to find Gollum, but mainly for Gollum. And but before he does, or before the ring wraiths do, Aragorn and Gandalf pretty much are like, oh no, we gotta get him first. And so Aragorn tracks down Gollum and brings him over to Mirkwood with Thranduil. And that's where Gandalf and Aragorn pretty much question Gollum about, like the ring and how he knew about, Baggins and the Shire and stuff like that. And then I think like after the whole like confrontation of that, Gollum ends up escaping because there's a band of orcs that like attack. I think it's either orcs or ringwraiths or something. Something attacks Mirkwood and Gollum escapes again, and then that's pretty much where he ends up in Moria, and that's why we see a glimpse of Gollum in Fellowship of the Ring, like in the movie, where they're like, Gollum's following, the Fellowship for a while, and so he's in that Moria area pretty much. And so I think that's like the whole premise of like the hunt for Gollum. So it's like it could make for like a standalone movie, So
Yeah, no, yeah, that sounds like we have to think about all the places like
yeah,
you mentioned, just the beginning, just kind of hunting for him. Then you get maybe go to Mirkwood,
yeah,
have another Grandwill appearance, probably the
yeah,
same actor, hopefully.
yeah. I
I
don't
thought he
know.
did
Yeah,
pretty well.
yeah.
I
I
mean, it's
thought
different, but
yeah, because I'm like, yeah, okay. So if they do end up going to Mirkwood, good old Lee Pace is gonna. I don't know if he's
that's who it
gonna.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know if he's gonna do that or not. Actually, like, if it's like one movie, I wouldn't say. I don't know. It's kind of up to actors, I guess, but like one movie wouldn't be that bad. And it's not like he's gonna be like the main role.
Yeah,
So
but he
he's
would be like, yeah,
but the whole
I
thing,
wouldn't say he would be a main, but he would be like for the audience a familiar face. So it's
yeah,
good to have that be one of your
yeah,
not central characters, but one of your, I don't know, just side characters, I guess. But yeah,
yeah, yeah. And so it's like, okay, well, so then that means, yeah, yeah, it's the whole, I think the whole issue is like the casting, like if they get a good casting for Aragorn and Gandalf, because those are like the main characters for the story. Obviously, Gollum with Andy Serkis, so that's already filled. But like, that's the thing. If Viggo and Ian decide not to, then that's going to be huge, huge shoes to fill there. But
it'll be huge shoes for both. But I think so. You bring Lee Pace back for Thranduil. You have
mm,
two new actors for Aragorn and
mm,
Gandalf.
yeah,
If they do their best, I think that'd be fine. I'm
yeah,
totally fine with that. Like,
yeah. It'd be cool to see new actors, try to do their version of,
yep,
like Aragorn tracking or Gandalf trying to figure things out on his own and disappearing here and appearing there. I'm like, okay, it's I mean, at the whole thing with Lord of the Rings is like a lot of those actors were like, like either starting actors or like quote unquote lesser known, I guess, not as big
yep.
until the film. So I'm like, I mean, they were fresh actors one time, so it's why not this
Yeah,
one?
I
So
think of all the hobbits, like
yeah,
all the Hobbit actors really were low, like yeah,
yeah. I
C
think
tier,
like
D tier actors.
yeah,
And then afterwards, like people are like, I can't
yeah.
even see this guy without thinking Lord of the
Mm-hmm.
Rings.
All right.
So
Yeah, I agree. I think
it
like
can
because I think
transform
Sean
an
Astin,
actor's career.
yeah, like Sean Astin was like the only like big actor, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah. Good
Because of
old
the
classic
Goonies.
Goonies. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've been wanting to watch that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of like the whole premise. Yeah, a lot of revisiting the places. So it's like I wonder if they're going to be filming, the locations, since it's like going to be kind of like Eriador version setting. So it's like kind of the Shire, maybe possibly like Arnor is like north of the Shire. So it's like, okay, maybe some glimpses here of the Dunedain, with Aragorn's lineage. Shots of like the Misty Mountains and Mirkwood. So it's like I wonder if they're gonna go back to those same spots in New Zealand or if they're gonna find different places like in England or Scotland or something like that. Like I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna pan out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that should be too much of a problem. I mean,
Yeah,
we all know like the New Zealand
yeah,
uh just landscape is just beautiful and great.
yeah.
And but I mean, you can also find that in a
A
lot of
lot of
places.
places. Yeah,
And if you're hunting, like if it's a chase, like
yeah.
Gollum is going to be everywhere. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like
Yeah,
in forests, in mountains, whatever. So you can
yeah.
almost film that anywhere. So,
Right. Yeah. So
or
yeah, I'm
at
like,
least I assume, you know.
yeah, because I think like a lot of it right now is just like a lot of people just like guessing on what it is, and like the only people who know about it obviously are the creators. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's kind of fun to talk about it, speculations, things that we know so far, I guess. Like,
Hmm.
knowing the story, what it's going to be about, what the influential characters are going to be. I don't know if they're going to add new characters, like as part of the story. I hope not. I hope not, but I don't know. What do you
I
think?
think, oh, well, this could be a great movie if they only focus on four, like if they had a small cast,
Yeah.
deep dive into like just what these characters are thinking throughout the movie, because we
Yeah.
know Lord of the Rings, Hobbit had, the Hobbit had how many dwarves, whatever
Mm. Yeah.
the main company, like you have so many
Yeah.
characters to think about. If it's a standalone movie, just focus on three or four,
Right.
and
Yeah.
I think that would be fine. It's going to be a different
Mm.
Middle Earth movie,
Hmm.
but it's if it can still be amazing,
Hmm.
just a
Yeah.
different style.
Yeah. 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 I wonder what kind of like I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know what kind of like because every director has their own different style of like how they
Yep.
like things, and so maybe Andy Serkis got a little bit of influence from how Peter Jackson did compared Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Obviously, two different. I feel like they were two different styles. Um, I mean, obviously, Hobbit more CGI based, but like I don't know, just the way that things were
Yeah.
film,
No,
like
I
Lord.
actually agree. Now that I think about it, I do
Yeah,
agree with that because The Hobbit almost seemed more like
like a cinematic movie,
I
and
was
then
gonna
like
say like MCU. It
yeah,
was like an MCU movie, like a
yeah,
good MCU movie,
yeah.
But
And then like Lord of the Rings was more like you're there, like in the battles, in Lord of the Rings, like in Helm's Deep or like in Minas Tirith, the camera is there with you, like it's like you're part of the scene, things like that. I feel like that's
it seemed more rustic. Like you're,
yeah,
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 like you said, you're there, but it's also like you are integrated into the movie,
yeah,
not through CGI. Like with The
yeah,
Hobbit, it's like, oh, these effects are just amazing, and
right, right,
sure, yeah, it's cool. It's good to
yeah,
watch on a movie in a movie theater, IMAX.
yeah, yeah,
But like, yeah, the experience of being in Lord of the Rings was like, yeah, you're with the characters.
mm-hmm,
You just want to put a cape on with the
mm-hmm,
leaf, whatever that you
yeah.
just want to
Oh,
be
the
in the
little
world.
brooch, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Brooch, yes, yeah,
yeah. I know. So it's like I wonder what kind of style Andy's gonna do for that. Like he's been involved in both of those styles. So I'm like, I don't know.
yeah,
We'll see. Maybe, I mean, I feel like he's creative enough that he won't layer too much on the CGI because I feel like he's gotten enough knowledge that where a lot of people complain about that for The Hobbit anyway. So it's like, eh. But yeah, and then the way that they're going to do CGI for Gollum, like himself, I don't know if it's going to be that whole thing of Lord of the Rings Gollum or Hobbit Gollum because there's kind of a little bit of differences between the two where it's like Hobbit Gollum has like really big eyes, you can see like the
yeah,
blue, and then Lord of the Rings, his like eyes are like shrunken, you can barely see him sometimes, and then it's like more dim. So it's like, little things like that. I think like fans will pay super close attention to.
yes, no,
So
they will. Yep.
yeah.
I mean, we will.
I know.
So,
It's like it's like that's what we're talking about because it's like we're gonna
yeah.
pay attention to everything. So
But
yeah.
I don't. I'm like 90% confident in Andy Serkis
Yeah.
because like when I was reading it,
Mm.
I would also listen to the audiobook like when I would go to work and
Yeah.
like, oh, I have to mow this lawn for 2 hours. Well, I'll just
All right.
put the audiobook on and get a chapter or two done.
Mm.
So like just listening to him read, it's like he's gonna
Mm.
respect the source
Yeah.
material.
Oh yeah.
I'm 90% sure. Maybe he will
I
go off the rails. I don't know, but I'm
mm,
pretty sure he won't.
yeah, I don't think
So,
so because he also did an audiobook of the Silmarillion, like
okay, then
the
yes.
whole
Yeah, he'll
Silmarillion. So it
I'm
was like he's like he knows his source, the source books. Because I know he did Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, and Silmarillion, I think. I think. So
yeah, and
he
I
did a
think
lot of narrating.
they had like Zoom calls during COVID, like with the whole cast or
Oh
whatever.
yeah,
And
yeah.
they were like talking about like, oh yeah, I have to reread Lord of the Rings and Silmarillion like
Mm,
every other year. So like
yeah.
all of those, all the those actors are
Hmm.
like reading
Yeah.
all these like all the time,
Yeah,
which
like
like proves like how great it is and how like
hmm.
yeah. So that's another point to Andy Serkis
I know.
not
Yeah.
disrespecting the source material.
He's not there for he's not really there for the money. Like obviously it will make a lot, but like he's there to like expand the history and all that stuff. And of course, him being Gollum chooses the Gollum, story for the standalone. I thought that was a really good choice because I know that they're making an animated movie called The War of the Rohirrim. That's coming out
Yep.
later this year, and so it's like,
On
okay,
Amazon, I think.
I think so, something like that. I think they're releasing it in theaters for a little bit, and then they're going to be releasing it on.
Oh, it's a movie?
Yeah, it's a movie.
Oh, I thought it
Yeah.
was going to be an Amazon show. Okay.
No, I don't think so.
No,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it's going to be an actual like animated movie, so that's coming out in December, I think. So, and that's going to be
Cool.
kind of like drawing back into the past of Rohan. So, I think you get to, I think they included Helm Hammerhand, so he's like a really influential Rohan guy. So, but it's really cool that
Okay.
they're like expanding into like different historical moments and things like that. But I don't know. Yeah, you have anything else to add to the discussion? Any more questions? It was just, I mean, it's short because it's like, what do we have? We have the source material and
Yeah.
guesses of what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know. I mean, I think, yeah, just focusing on main characters, just like what
Mm,
other side characters or other
right.
actors you think will like
Yeah.
maybe push for a cameo or a scene or
Yeah.
you know?
Because like if we're talking about like Lord of the Rings setting itself, and it's like pretty much like a few maybe like a few years before Frodo actually like sets out on his journey, that means a lot of the characters would technically be there. Like Legolas would be there. Gimli would still be in Middle Earth,
Yeah.
so it's like you get the three, but like Legolas and Gimli aren't really involved in it, but they're still there. So it's like hopefully it's not like a whole cluster of characters, that you got to keep track of. Kind of like what you said.
Yeah.
Like there was like 13 dwarves in, The Hobbit, and it was a lot to keep track of, like all the names and like wait, who that was that Nori? Was that Ori? Was that Oin? Was that Gloin? I don't know. Like
Yeah.
there's like 13 of them. Yeah. So,
Yeah. I was just gonna say like if you want to do a cameo of like a carriage going by with a bunch of dwarves on it,
mm,
just like you
okay.
see
Yeah.
like you know what I mean? Just something like that.
Yeah,
Where it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh hey, look, we
Yeah,
know
yeah.
those. Yeah.
That would make sense too, because it's like, I mean, you kind of get like the whole setting of like Arnor and Middle Earth, or not Middle Earth, and Shire. So of course, like dwarves would come by and like, every now and then maybe one of those dwarves ends up visiting Bilbo for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, a lot of questions, a lot of, I don't know, theories, I guess. So
They could even make it like the most dangerous game. I don't know if
hmm.
you've read that short story, whatever.
No.
It's kind of like a so the most dangerous game is man hunts man.
Okay.
So you kind of know the thoughts of the guy who's being hunted. So
Oh.
I would guess they would do a
Hmm.
lot of that with Gollum,
Yeah,
where
probably.
he kind of figures out, oh, I'm being hunted halfway through, or
Yeah.
maybe at the start. And so
Hmm.
you have a lot of scenes with him, like,
Yeah.
yeah, just going
Mm.
through the process of hiding and
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah,
that
just
would be really cool,
figuring
actually.
stuff
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, kind of whispering to himself on both sides of his
Hmm.
personalities. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be interesting. And I wonder how long the movie's going to be. If it's going to be classic, like 3 hour film, or, from like
Yeah.
Middle Earth. I don't know. And then later on, an extended part. Oh, hey, that would
Yep.
be perfect. I don't
Hmm.
know. Yeah, because like in the story, I guess like in the book story, like after Gollum escapes, he's being tracked down by, again by Aragorn, but also by elves and also by orcs and ring wraiths. So he's like
Hmm.
paranoid to the extreme when he's running away, because it's like they're still after him in that present time, obviously, but like yeah, so I don't know. A lot of that inner thoughts probably from Gollum would be a prominent feature, I think, to like keep track of and like really, really look at. But I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll see when the time comes. So,
Yep.
but yeah, I don't know. Anything else? Anything else want to add? Because right now I got nothing. I just kind of wanted to like talk a little bit about it, some speculations and theories, things like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I will be excited. I will go watch it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I think a lot of the Tolkien fanatics will go out and watch it, just because it's like it is part of one of the side stories that not a lot of people know about, I feel like. So like the people who do know about it have been the ones who read the appendices, who have read the extra books of Tolkien and stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, Lord of the Rings hasn't even with Rings of Power. I mean, I haven't seen it, but even
yeah.
with Rings of Power, it hasn't become like the MCU for me, where I'm like, well, I don't really care about watching this movie anymore or these
Oh yeah.
future. I
Yeah,
mean,
just
even though
just
I just watched Deadpool 3, but
which was good.
I
But
mean,
that was a
to me,
good one though.
it's different. Like I came into Deadpool 3
Yeah.
thinking, oh, I got high expectations, and it
Yeah.
delivered. So I was
Yeah.
very, very happy with that.
Yeah, yeah. I think like with like the like whole MCU thing is like there's just so many films,
Hmm.
that they're cranking them out one after another. But like I don't know. I think everybody has their own thoughts on that and things like
Yeah.
that. But yeah. All right. Yeah. So I think yeah, Hunt for Gollum stuff pretty much good covered for now until
Yeah.
maybe I don't know. Maybe next year we'll get some more new info, some like behind the scenes, images or
We'll get a cast list, maybe.
Castly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, once that cast list, is like published, and then people are going to be like, oh man, this is going to be it's going to be great.
Get
This is going to be weird. This is going to
yeah,
be in between. Yeah.
get Henry Cavill to be Aragorn. He'll
Right?
deliver.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's
I
not doing
mean,
The Witcher anymore, so I
I was gonna
mean,
say have him do kind of the Witcher hair, but
yeah,
black.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
He's like ripped
he's
and
fit for it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
He could fit it. I feel like he could fit that role.
that can be something we can talk about next. Yeah, if we do this in a year, just like
Yeah,
who do you think would be good picks for Aragorn?
yeah,
Who do you think would be good picks for Gandalf,
yeah.
etc.?
Gandalf would be interesting to recast, so to speak. I don't know. Hmm, I
Well, I
don't know.
think what's his name?
Hmm.
Con Air, National Treasure guy. What's his?
Oh, the like the older guy with the glasses?
No, no, no. I'm talking about
No,
Aragorn. No, just the main character of Nash.
National Treasure?
Yeah,
Nicolas Cage?
Nicolas Cage. Nick Cage, I think was supposed like tried out for Aragorn
Oh yeah,
when
he
Lord of the Rings was
did.
coming out.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So
And he's like,
maybe
this
he'll
script is
come
too
back.
confusing. Yeah, he comes
Yeah,
back as Aragorn. Hey guys, look.
yes.
I'm finally Aragorn.
Finally, we're gonna need some
Finally.
rockets. Yahoo!
We're gonna steal the One Ring of Power. It's like it
Steal it.
shouldn't. It's not like it it should be done. It can't be done.
Yeah, yeah. It should be. Yeah,
Oh, that'd be crazy. That'd be really crazy. Uh, yeah, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, anything else to add? I mean,
No.
part one is good until we get more information, I feel like. So,
Hmm.
yeah, but yeah, okay, cool. I think we covered that all good. Yeah, you can say bye to the audience if you want. Yeah, right.
Goodbye, audience.
Yes, goodbye.